3 brothers and a sister, and my brothers and I caused plenty of havoc throughout the years. We did some pretty crazy things in our young age, so it was great growing up with just a family that's so close and so tight. I was 8 when it started. It started small, little things, just watching, things like that, and over kind of a year period, it got more intense, more graphic, and it was very confusing because it was a man that at that time I trusted, and in many ways I looked up to him, because in our family, we're so close that you learn to have faith and confidence in the people that you're around. And here was this man who was supposed to love me and protect me, and he was hurting me in a way that it didn't make sense. I knew that it wasn't right, but I didn't understand that it was wrong. It was, like I said, it was really confusing because I knew this wasn't love, but the way that he did things, the way he said things, that's what he said it was. He instilled in me a fear that I can't even describe. I mean, it kept me silent for 15 years. That's how strong it was. It was, if you tell anybody, I'm going to know, and I'm going to kill your family. It definitely affected my middle school and high school experiences. I didn't like to be touched, I didn't like to be hugged, and for a long time I didn't really understand why, but I just knew that I didn't like interaction. I had no attraction to guys. I went through a period that started probably my freshman year of high school, where I started doing a lot of self-mutilating because I hated how I looked. I hated how I felt. I felt very, very dirty, very inadequate, and really started dabbling in the self-mutilating, the bulimia, kept that to myself, really didn't seek any kind of help or anything like that. My family really didn't have a clue. I didn't know what to do with them. I didn't know what I was supposed to do with them, or how I was supposed to get over them or get help or anything like that. At that point it was just kind of an aha moment where I was like, okay, that makes sense. But I didn't do anything with it. I just, it made sense in my mind, so I was like, well, I'm just gonna get over it. You can't just get over it. About a year later, I was sitting in my bathroom and I had a knife in one hand and my phone in the other. And I had come to a point where I couldn't keep living the way that I was living. I was torturing myself. I was depressed. I hated sleep. I was afraid of everything. I had more anxiety than any human being should ever have. I was failing at everything in my life because I was so mentally locked up that I wasn't functioning. And it really came down to looking at the knife in one hand and looking at the phone in the other and thinking, well, what do I want to do? Do I want to die? I remember opening my phone and looking through the contacts and literally praying, okay, God, if you want me to live, you gotta, somebody's name has to pop up. Because I didn't trust anybody. I mean, I didn't even trust myself, let alone somebody to hold such a dark and dirty secret, and got all the way to the end of my contacts and nobody's name popped up, and I was like, I'm gonna try it one more time, just one more time. And it literally going through it the second time, this name just like jumped out of the phone. And before I even had time to think, I just pushed the call button. And I didn't know what I was going to say. I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't know what was going to happen. But I knew where death led. I didn't know where life led. And I had to know where life led. I went up there and just bawled my eyes out. I mean, for the first time in 15 years, I cried, and it was a very emotional moment. And I said, he hurt me, and basically just started spilling my story to her. And at the end, I felt so raw, so exposed, so scared. And she came over and she gave me a hug and she said, I love you, and we're gonna get through this. And I know that had she not done that, I wouldn't be here, because I realized at that moment that somebody does care. Of course, I had to go through the challenge of reliving those moments, which was not easy, but at the end, there was a sense of relief that I was no longer having to carry that secret around. And in reality, what I had done was I had killed that secret. Instead of killing myself, I had killed that secret. Kill the secret. Tell somebody, and anybody that you know is going to fight for you. They care. There are people, it might not feel like it, but there are people who want to help you, who have watched you for years struggle, and you've remained silent, and they want to be there. They want to help you. They want to walk through this with you. And it's worth it to kill the secret. Don't let it kill you. I was a painter. I've always been a painter. I've always drawn and painted. And I would paint and I would draw these pictures and I would show them to not everybody, but to a few people. And I look at it now and I see that was a desperate cry, because those paintings were dark. And that was, in many ways, that was my cry of, please, please just ask me. Please just talk to me about this painting. Ask me a question about it. You can be the best parent in the world and still have this happen to you. But what I encourage you to do is to listen. There are signs that are out there that your kids are showing. There's little things that they're trying to tell you, and really just be aware of those, and don't take on the guilt. If you are a parent who's walking through something like this with your kid, it's not your fault. I have my days. You definitely still have your days, your moments when the fear starts to creep back in and your insecurities start creeping back in. And that's really when the support system comes into play. And I've spent a lot of time building a support system around me of people who do love me, who do care. And it's really that support system that has gotten me through this last year in my life. Something so ugly is being turned into something so powerful, and that's a great journey to be on. So I love my life right now. It's great.